Okay, we're going to take a look at what the beginning of a turn looks like and follow through on kind of tutorial of other things you can do during your turn. Try to cover most of the things that might come up during the game so you're better equipped to follow through on actions and whatnot. So first thing to do is we're going to start on turn 2, and you can see here if you follow down, US may declare war for +5 PW. So if you want to push 5 political will towards the Mexican side, you can do that in order to declare war, and that might be a consideration. If there's no war declared right now, each player can have 5 cards, 5 event cards, strategy cards, and then at the end of the turn there'll be a +1 die roll to any war declaration rolls. And then standard events from turn 2 on, the US gets standard reinforcements. Mexican has standard reinforcements. Check for wounded leaders if there was during the turn. Check turn specific events noted above, and draw random events from the action deck. So we'll take a look at standard reinforcements. So as you can see, the standard events, US standard reinforcements, they will get 1 leader and 1 unit, and then the Mexicans will, before the government collapses, 2 leaders and 3 units. So we draw those randomly. Here's the random draw of 3 units for Mexican player. And they draw infantry, actually Marines, as you can see there, militia cavalry, another militia cavalry. And they get 2 random leaders, and those will be Lombardini and Flores. So those get placed on any political will city, controlled city, any fashion that you want to do. So just for the sake of argument, again, we'll put them up one here, and cavalry, just for fun, we'll put them over here. Okay, and then the US draws. Only 1 unit and infantry, and a random leader, and that is worth 2 stars but 3 strategic. It's an okay leader because of the 2 stars, as we'll see later. And we'll put him, can be in Texas or New Orleans. We'll do Texas, maybe here, to help reinforce Zachary Taylor. Okay, so that's how you get started. This will be the second turn, and then you need to draw 5 cards for each player. This is the U.S. hand. Again, you can see that, let's pull back a little bit. You can see by the color of the number, the background of the numbers, which is favorable to U.S. So these two are favorable to U.S., these two are favorable to the Mexican player, and this one either. Also notice that it's a response, so used in battle if you want to use the event. These two you're going to want to, it's possible we could use to activate a naval fleet on either coast. You're going to want to use this one to activate a unit, probably Kearney, since it'll only be able to be used to activate a one strategic level general. And then these two you can take a look at as possibilities. Another response card for battle. Increasing bellicosity is good. We'll see how the declaration of war goes. And then the Mexican hand. There's two that are in between. This can eliminate some of the other side's units, the U.S. units in this case. A battle card, more or less. Actually, no, this one will help in keeping the opposing side unit or army or force from moving too far. This one is favorable to the Mexican side and placing some actually a disputed zone, and losing this one you'll want to use for one leader. If we've got one in Canales, but you can't control too many units. So there's options for the Mexican player. And then we draw from the action deck, and one thing you need to remember that the action deck gets shuffled, both the discards and the undrawn cards every turn, the beginning of the turn before you draw from the action deck. So you'll draw 4 cards each. You can only get reinforcements once during this time. The Mexican draws first. They have a heat. Each unit of force which spends movement turns. Okay, so that's bad for both sides if you're moving. So there is a heat turn this turn. Even though it's spring, it can get hot in the spring. So every time a unit or force moves, they will lose 1 movement point. That should be 1 combat step, not movement point. Political, you may view the hidden side of 1 PW city mark. Okay, this is maybe a little bit more useful for the U.S. Just for sake of going closest to the front, take a look at that one. And that +3 is not +3 political will. So, sorry. What happens is, if the U.S. captures that city, they will have a modifier of +3 on the die roll toward getting political will toward the U.S. side. So let's take a quick look at that. Here's the city conquest table, and if you take a look, it says here +? City modifier printed on map. So if it's a +3, that means when the U.S. rolls, he captures a city. Say he rolls a 4, that becomes a 7. So that's 2 political will points on the record track towards the U.S. side. Some of them do have negative numbers. So if you roll a 4, In that case, it would be -1, 3, and then it would be no effect. So there's also a city modifier on the map. If you can see in Monterey, there's already a -1 on the die roll. So that +3 will help gain some political will points, hopefully, if the U.S. captures that city. Second card for Mexican player is Riots. Roll 1 die and resolve as follows. So we'll roll 1 die. It's an 8. So it says on here, Revolt or Revolt Spreads. Player playing the card chooses the state to go into revolt or to which the revolt spreads. So in this case, it's a Mexican player. Probably maybe something that's least connected, because if you choose a state that's in the middle of the map, it could spread to all the different sides. So let's just pick Sonora here. So Sonora will be under revolt. Right here. Okay. Next card for U.S. side. Indian raids. Place 2 friendly raid markers in any 2 spaces within 10 movement points. So I've got raid markers here, and I simply choose let's within 10. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4 because of the rough, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's put one here and one here for the heck of it. Okay. And reinforcements. Draw 1 friendly leader and up to plus units up to his command rating from regroup. So I'll draw a random. This is Mexican player, so random 1. And I draw a Leon. Oh. And his command rating is in the center. That's 5. So he can draw up to 5 units. So let's find my Mexican. And we've got more Marines, cavalry, artillery finally, and some type of militia unit. Okay, so Leon can go with those units. Again, anywhere where there's a PW marker, and we'll just place them, I think. Let's place them again close to the front here. That'll be earlier in the first turn. Santa Ana was selected to go down here, come back from exile. So I've got quite a few units down there. Okay, and then third card for U.S. California War, turns 1 through 7, which is turn 2. Move PW 1 in your favor and place 1 unit from regroup in Alta California. Alta California is up in the northwest part of the map, way up here. So you place 1 unit there. US is the only one with units there, and then you move the PW 1 in your favor this way. So they're now at 28 for political will. And one last card for Mexican player. Local fares without looking. Switch the location of any two PW city markers. Well, that's pretty simple. I just switch these two and go without looking, so I don't know what's under there. I believe since I could have done it with ones that I had looked at previously. You just don't look at them again. It's kind of like concentration, you know, that old concentration game where you memorize cards and try to match. Well, if you can memorize what ones you've looked at, you can kind of manipulate where those PW negative or positive modifiers go. Not a huge deal, but. And then the last card for the US is Riots. So roll one die and resolve as follows. That was a 3, so no effect. And that's it for the beginning of the turn, and then we'll go through some possible things you can do step by step during the turn in the next video. So that's the beginning of the turn and some of the things that happen as you prepare for the action phase. See you next time.